All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Rise Urban Nation, where we elevate the voices, the vision, and the victories of Black and Pan-African entrepreneurs and creators, creating change all across the globe. I'm your host, Taryell Simmons, and today, we got a guest that brings a bold and powerful message that resonates with so many of us, especially for those who've ever doubted if they belong in the room. And y'all know what I'm talking about, because we as melanated folks, sometimes they act like we don't belong in the room. But as our boy Kendrick Lamar say, they not like us, and we belong in our room spaces. So today we're diving deep with Alex Dumas. I don't know why I like to say it like that. Dumas. Yeah, a keynote speaker, global movement leader, and founder of a transformational framework. And we're going to dive into that transformational framework that helps people speak up, stand out, and lead with unshakable confidence, feeling like an outsider and growing up to empowering thousands of leaders of color around the world. His journey is one of resilience, revelation, and radical self-love. Alex, welcome to the spot, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Taryell. I love the alliteration. I'm gonna take you on the road with me. I need somebody. If I'm gonna be bus to bus, you gotta be split star. Like we just, and then we can trade. I'll hype you
Get
up.
low, bus.
My name is Alex.
Get low, Alex. And now bring it up. So just everybody who's coming in, like, let me tell you. So I met Alex in a call with Jamar, and it was just instant chemistry. We was every time I say a lyric or a song or something, he caught the vibe, he caught it, and he threw the pass back at me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna vibe out with this guy right here. Wait, I didn't get the backstory. How did you and Alex meet? I mean, how did you and Jamar meet?
Yeah. That's a great question. So I got to give an acknowledgement, a shout out to my friend, my homie, family, Brandy Brown, Brandy the Builder of Magnify Success. I got connected with her last year in 2024 on via Forbes Black. Like they had their Slack channel. We got connected, and she was like, "Hey, you got to meet this person. And you got to meet this person." And sure enough, Jamar and I connected last year. I mean, similar to you and I, man, but instantly, rather bad, me and him just cutting up, laughing. It was just like instant connection. Good dude, solid brother, man. I love watching what he's doing on LinkedIn. He had the Times Square event last year. I know he's got something coming up in Milwaukee in the summer. So, I love seeing people that are moving, that are shaking, that are amplifying, that are doing the thing for us, and also expanding so other people can be like, hey, you know what? There's something here to this. I want to get involved in that. I want to see how I can benefit with this kind of brother. So Jamar, solid people right there.
Yeah, solid people. Yo, I just realized you wasn't at the Times Square event because I was there. Like, where was you at? Where was you at, baby?
I was here in North Carolina. I was home. I was home.
Like, I mean, no shade in North Carolina. This out for North Carolina. I got love for North Carolina. My people's down in South Carolina, but you was supposed to be in New York. Ain't you? Was you born there? You got home, come back home, baby.
I'm gonna come back home because actually, funny thing about that is like I am from New York. I grew up in Long Island, New York, so good old suburban world. Shout out to my hometown of Brentwood, and I'm going to be back in New York in October of this year for the 39th annual Name It conference. So it's all about authentic, inclusive leadership. I'm going to be kicking off their day one with my signature talk, Speak Up, Stand Out, Build Unshakable Confidence. So amplify your impact and influence. So it's going to be amazing there. October 21st, 22nd. That conference is happening at the New York Marriott Marquis. So if you're in town, tap in.
Yeah, if you're in town, and don't worry, I'm gonna get all the information and throw it in the show notes. Usually we in the show with all that, but we start the show. We start off with a bang, baby. We like boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna throw you something right here.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah, no, right? So now, I mean, now that you started off with, I know you're from Brentwood, New York.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit more about that. Early background. Before we get into your powerful message, let's just rewind the clock a little bit. Tell us about young Alex growing up. What was life like?
Yeah.
How did those early experiences shape your leadership journey?
Yeah, for sure. So for anyone watching, I was born in the late 1900s. I had a
Uh,
couple oxen that died. A couple people with dysentery. I couldn't get to Oregon. Now it's all
yeah,
goes like the late 81s. No, right? No,
yeah,
but I was born in Brooklyn, but Long Island is home for me because we moved out there when I was about 4 years old. So Long Island's always been home. And my parents, they immigrated to the country from Haiti in the early 70s. So they didn't know each other. Somehow they got introduced to each other, got married, had babies. I'm the youngest. They say the
yeah.
best for last. I was like, this is
The siblings gonna get mad when they hear that. Like, wait, what? What did he just say?
they can get mad all they want. It's, sometimes truth is truth and facts are facts. Anyway, no, I play around with that, but I share all that because people can see me now. Like, hey, I'm having this conversation with you. I'm speaking here.
Yeah,
I wrote a couple of books. I'm got my own podcast, all that kind of stuff. And they're like, man, it must be just easy, natural for you. And
yeah,
yes, to a degree, there is. But as a young boy, I had a challenge with finding my place, feeling like I didn't fit in. And I would find evidence, Taryell. I would find evidence everywhere I went where my brothers, my sister, they all got the full Brooklyn experience, Flatbush, the Flatlands. They saw a lot of things happen out there, and I was always interested. Like, man, I wish I could have been there. Like, I wish I would have been in the hood.
yeah.
Right?
How come y'all took me to the suburbs, mom and dad? I'm
Yeah,
not about this life. Look, I need to go back to Flatbush. You
yeah.
need to send me there ASAP.
There's trees here. There's gates. There's no broken bottles on the ground, and no. But my parents did a great thing. They built us a great life, and
Yeah.
with that, with the challenges, because as folks trying to live this American dream, they put us in predominantly white schools, like Catholic schools. So that's interesting, K through 12 kind of being like one of the few faces of color in the room. And I had
Yeah.
great friends. I was popular. I was athletic. I was the class clown for sure. And I also
Yeah.
struggled academically, summer school, a bunch of years. Just feeling insecure about myself, worrying about, do I have to put on a performance? Do I always have to be funny? Do I always have to be at the top at like this peak, and never being able to like relax? I don't know if you ever had that feeling like you have like a down day. You're like, man, what's wrong? Like I felt like I never could be down. I always have to be on, and that's a lot of pressure. Fast
Trust me,
forward.
I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah,
Because as a young boy having ADHD,
yeah,
I wasn't in a predominantly white school, but like I was on that like school to prison pipeline, and then
yeah.
I was a class clown too. I didn't do well in school, so I had to perform just to So I get you. I get you. All I have to say, I get you. But go ahead,
No, it's
carry on.
interesting because like now, as I think about it as a man, like I probably did have like ADHD, but like we didn't know about it back then. They didn't talk. Nobody diagnosed me, anything like that. I probably could have used some medicine just to like simmer me down because I was charged up. I mean, you gotta think about it. I was drinking Cafe Bustelo every morning,
Oh man, woo!
drinking Kool Aid, adding sugar to the Kool Aid pitcher.
Damn, because we add extra sugar.
So I'm wired. I'm wired all day, just crazy, right?
Right.
And so fast forward a couple of years, I'm dealing with all these challenges in my own mind, in my own realm of like feeling like an outsider. Get introduced to substances, smoking, drinking, pills, sniffing, like just stealing, doing whatever I could to get money because I felt like that was what I had to do. I wanted to just self-destruct, and a lot of those choices, I'm fortunate that none of those choices landed me in serious trouble, right? I was always just kind of like tiptoeing, but I'm not built for jail. I'm not built for prison. I watched Oz. I seen Adebisi. I'm like, I'm good. No, thanks. That's not for me.
Right.
It
Look,
can.
look I was just thinking about that because you're the youngest, and while your siblings they grew up in Flatbush and so forth, they were probably I would imagine they would say, "Yo, you ain't had to go what we had to go through, but
Yeah.
you over here the one wilding out."
And I'm feeling like an outsider. Like I wish I want that. I wanted that experience so that we all have a shared thing. They kind of have their own bubble of we had this life and now we're here in the suburbs, and I'm like suburbs. That's all I've known. But
Hmm.
just with that, going through school, growing up, and just trying to find my place. And like I said, feeling like an outsider here and in my community, predominantly Black Latino families. It's weird because my friends all went to public school, so they got Timbs, they got Jordans, they got jeans on. I got penny
Yeah.
loafers and a blazer.
Oh man,
It's like, hey guys,
that's
what's up?
that's definitely gonna land you on the joke bus
Yeah.
and all other stuff. You
So,
gonna get into some fights.
what's up, my homies? What up? What up? It's I
Right.
think it's a interesting life because I joke about it from the stage, like, hey, listen, y'all, I didn't have a crack addicted mama. My
Mhm.
daddy wasn't in jail. What I mean, I grew up with pool parties and
Mhm.
barbecues, football, basketball, like just your standard like middle class life. But
Yeah.
me, my mind, I found ways to find things that were wrong. I found
Mhm.
ways to sabotage myself, and
Yeah. What kind of when did the transition happen? Because I can imagine having all of that, especially in your family. I know you're a family man now because I see
yeah.
the beautiful family, which is centered in your house. But what in your website? But what do you think was the pivotal moment of that change for you when you were able to kind of figure out how do you make that shift from just
From knucklehead
feeling
to
yeah, from not just a knucklehead, but feeling like not belonging
yeah,
and that because that follows you everywhere. Because I know I felt that feeling of like not belonging, not in my family. So let me back it up a little bit to kind of share why am I connecting with you so much because you know I'm the only one in my sibling family that is from a stepdad and a mom, but I grew up be, no from my mom and dad. So I grew up with my stepdad and my mom, and all my siblings are from my stepdad and my mom. But I wasn't raised in the house to think that I was, I have sibling or anything. I thought everybody thought I was the full sibling, but we had different names and all that stuff. So I know of that feeling of not belonging in my house and not belonging in school and so forth. So like I'm trying to see like for you when
yeah,
was the kind of the breakthrough moment when you started to go from not feeling like you belong and feeling invisible to feeling like you're making that transition.
yeah. I could take you back to that moment. It was in December 2005, and at that point, on paper, everything was looking really good for me. I had started like my career in the nonprofit space. So I work with special needs individuals. This is my
Mm-hmm.
senior year of college. So I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
ready. I'm on track to graduate in spring of '06.
Yeah.
Got a job, got this car. I'm doing all right. That's on the face side, but inside, every weekend, every day, getting high, hanging out with my boys. We're not doing anything. We're just
Mm-hmm.
we're talking a lot, but not anything. Nothing's moving. Right? We're not making any
Right.
moves. I'm drinking a lot. Got other addictions. Having suicidal thoughts, and I've got no confidence in myself. I'm just trying to find anything out there. And there was this little thing called MySpace back then.
Oh, don't tell me MySpace. I remember MySpace. Oh,
MySpace,
MySpace was
man.
popping back in the day. Don't trip.
Man, listen, like I know Cassie's got a different situation, but her song was like the thing. Like that was the MySpace
Mm-hmm.
anthem, right?
Yeah.
And one day I come across this young lady's profile, and she
Right.
lives in the next town over from me. I'm like, all right, let me just hit her up. So like I break all the rules. I just slide right into the DM. I say three words. Three words changed my life, Taryell. Three words.
What's that?
I wrote to her, what up? Nice pics. I didn't have time to write what's up. Just what up. Like WADD. What up?
Ah.
Nice pics. That started the conversation. We add each other on AOL, so our buddy list. Right, I'm really
Oh
taking
my
on that right
goodness,
now.
this old school. Your kids ain't gonna know nothing about none of this.
So we started hanging out a little bit, and then January of '06, we become officially a couple, and we've been together to this day, and we got married a few years later. And I share all that because sometimes it takes one person in your network to change everything. One person can change your life.
Yeah.
Just like that. My wife Sarah, she was really one of the first people that believed in me, and I believed in her belief in me. Even if I didn't have it in myself at that time, she saw something in me that I couldn't see, and that started the process of like me cleaning up my act, distancing myself from people, just changing my whole network, and starting to take life serious.
Man, I'm over here thinking about at first of all, shout out to Jamal. I was like, he over here sounding like a mini Jamal. No wonder they is sick, like, because Jamal's like, change your circle, change like one person could change your life. I was like, oh, okay,
change your circle, That's a Jamarism. We gotta give him that quote right there. That's hashtag Jamal Jones.
Hashtag Jamal Jones. But yo, that's wild. MySpace. Shout out to the throwback love stories. I love hearing stuff like that.
Good luck, Tom. Man. We appreciate you for
we appreciate you. See, you still, and it's still going strong, baby. Maybe we have to bring MySpace back so we can have those love stories again and just me and you.
Yeah, what I did there. If I have one regret, it's like I wish I never deactivated that account because I'm wondering, like, what did we say to each other? Like, what were those conversations like? Because I was a knucklehead, she was going through her own situation. So I was 22 at the time. She was 18. We were just both young little hood rat, crazy kids.
That fell in love and made it a thing.
Yeah.
What was it about that relationship that shifted things for you?
She was just my wife. She's a strong person, and I think that's just something that's been a part of my life. Right, my mother, rest her soul, strong woman, just like in your face about things. My sister, similar, and then with her, I just connected. And I think one of the things about her is just about being accountable. Like she's somebody that you give your word about something, you better do it, hold you to it. And I wasn't used to that. I was like flaky, wishy-washy, yeah, whatever, like, okay. And she wasn't having it. She's like, no, like, this isn't gonna work. If you're gonna be like that, this whole thing's gonna work. So you got to make a choice. And I chose wisely, I would say.
Yeah. I think me and you might have got the same type of wives in our lives. I got strong women too who you better mean what you saying, say what you mean, and hold you accountable. And so, but I appreciate that. That's helped me leveled up as a man. Like so I'm good with that. Yeah, that's what's up. Let's talk about the transformational period. You mentioned struggling with confidence, even using humor and substances to mask pain. How did you begin confronting those internal barriers?
I think it's just been a part of me throughout the years. I would write a lot. I would write a lot of poetry, a lot of raps. That was like my outlet for.
What you got raps too?
I got notebooks. Yeah, I got full notebooks from when I was like 14, like pretty much like 14 through 20, 22, like somewhere in that range. A lot of it's. I mean, it was all right. Right, but it's just, I never took the initiative to like really spit. You know what I mean? I was just like, I would never say anything. But
no, you're supposed to say what you're supposed to say. Yeah, I got some slappers in there. I got some slaps, but I just didn't have the right producer.
I'm getting invited to the baby oil party. That's what.
You about to get this podcast canceled, sir.
We have Exhibit A. We have Taryell's podcast.
These are all jokes.
These are all jokes.
I'm about to do the what's the Joe Budden prelude. This is not real. This is only entertainment. Please advise.
It's only entertainment.
Nothing is serious. The thoughts and opinions of Alex are his own.
We do not. Our guests do not represent the show. No, but to answer the follow your question, right? It was a portion of Sarah, my wife, in the relationship that we built, and then around, I would say 2015 was another game changing year. That was a year that, at the time, I would describe as probably one of the worst years of my life. So I'll walk you through this 90-day period right here. So April 22nd, our second child was born, my son, my mini me, my guy, right, my prince. 3 days after he's born, my mom passes. Oof. Okay, ouchie. 3 months later, I'm laid off from a job. So here I am, unemployed father of a preschooler and a newborn. I'm grieving. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing with a business that I'm building that's starting to crash and burn. And that whole year, just a whole lot of challenges. Fast forward to 2016, my wife says these 6 magic words that changed my life. Says, you have to get a job. I don't know if that was 6 or 5, whatever, but you have to get a job. I'm prideful, right? But I tuck my tail in, so to speak, go back to work. But that wound up being the best thing for me, because the job I landed, it introduced me to the world of coaching and professional speaking, because that was their target market for this particular service. So I got to go to conferences. I got to go on websites and have conversations with these entrepreneurs and, prospect them and all this stuff. And when I started going to these conferences and seeing the impact that these speakers and entrepreneurs were making on these audiences, the light bulb with me turned on. Like, this is what I want to do. I need to learn how to do what this person's doing. And that was really like that tidal wave shift of that storm that hit me. God put a lot on me in 2015, but he was preparing me, because he knew that, hey, this is how I forge steel, right? I got to break you to rebuild you. I got to destroy you to rebuild you. And, good job, big guy, because I'm here.
Nah.
It created that obsession, right? I'm the person who, if you let me to my own devices, I'll self-destruct, right? As a teenager, I was fully proof of that. So I just had to shift my obsession, my addiction to like personal growth and transformation, and then realizing I can help a lot of people with this. I can do good into the world besides the wrong I've done.
Man, that's a beautiful story, and I think that's just a testimony to where everything in life, when it tests your confidence, but you choose to still stand tall. I was telling somebody the other day, like, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, right? And like, if you're that person that's left to its own devices, you're not be moving to you're shaken to move. And so when I mean by life happens for you, like either life is teaching you a lesson that you need to learn, or it's putting the hurdle in your way that's forcing you to go in a different direction, or it's creating closure for something, and some pain for something to prepare you for something else. It's like when you go to the gym, when you're working out, you have to get some pain and to build that muscle to get to the next phase of whatever development looks like. And so, like, it's just all about seeing what is life presenting to you at the time. So, like, I think your testimony is truly that.
There's a reason why they call it growing pains. It's not growing comfort. It's not growing ease. Yeah, there's pain. There is, you have to suffer, right? In the words of David Goggins, you have to suffer a bit. But if you're the right kind of person, if you're for me, I one of the shifts that helped me start getting confidence as a kid was playing sports, football, basketball, boxing. And I just have this competitive edge, and I'm a little bit of a nut case too. Like, I like violent, like hitting, like, banging around and stuff. And I took that because I knew I had that, like, in moments where I didn't want to do this extra sprint, or I didn't want to do that next push-up, or I didn't want to do that sit-up, but I did it. So inside, I knew, like, man, I can do a lot of things. But I get in my own way. I started believing the lies, started listening to getting influenced by others who are not doing anything, and birds of a feather, they flock together. I could either be a duck or I could be an eagle. I walked with ducks for a long time, and then once I started seeing how, quote unquote, eagles, how people are successful or they're living a life with intention, I'm like, That's how I want to move. I want to move in that kind of speed because it's different. When and you might have this experience too, right? If you go to a conference, if you go somewhere, you just see somebody who's kind of like at a different speed, a different level. You're like, okay, where are they going? Right? You don't even know. Like, I just want to go where they're going because they're heading somewhere. Versus, man, this sucks. Like, I don't want to be down with you. Like, you keep the crab to yourself. I'm trying to soar. I'm trying to fly.
Hey, I'm trying to fly. I wasn't supposed to be around here with the ducks when I'm supposed to be in the air flying, right?
And that's not judgment. Anybody's like, "Hey, I'm a duck." Like,
Nah, be with you. We be whatever bird you supposed to be. Like I no offense to the ducks. Ducks do what ducks do. Eagles do what
just don't
eagles
be
do.
Birdman, babe. Birdman, Jimmy.
Ah! Unless you don't want your taxes never paid. No,
I'm flying anywhere.
One thing I want to ask you, from once professional speaker to another, I know we talk about confidence, being in those circles, professional speaking. I remember the first time I had a professional talk in front of, thousands of people. And for the first year, or at least for me, a year or two, I would have this struggle, especially if I'm in these conferences that have not a lot of people that look like me in this space, and I have to go speak. I would always get so nervous and should I be doing am I? And I would, it was like sometimes I wouldn't say play small, but get a little nervous to play big, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had those situations?
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, especially as I was breaking out of corporate and going to different events, people be like, that magic question you get in any event. What do you do? Well, it's like that construction happens. And it's not relaxed. You probably haven't practiced it. I know I never rehearsed it. It's not fluid. It's not coming from me. It's something that I'm trying to memorize. Remember, like, I am Ron Burgundy. Like, I'm Alex. So yeah, that's normal too. And then I have learned, and when I work with clients, when I'm coaching them, it's like that's a good sign. You should be nervous. You should be scared. If you're playing beyond a space where you thought it was impossible, or you thought, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, that's good. Like, sit in that, saute in that, because that part of your story is going to be useful for somebody else who's coming along, who's going to see the same thing. They're going to have the same experience, and you can be like, hey, you know what? I was in that spot. Here's what I did. Here's what was useful for me. Maybe it might be useful for you.
Like that. Now, we talked about a little bit about, birds of the same feather are flocking together. One thing I saw on your site, you got this concept, building the bigger bubble. Like, talk to me about that. What's that, building the bigger bubble? Where did that concept come from?
Oh man, I'm going to give a quick shout out to this guy, Doug Stevenson. He runs a podcast called Storytelling That Sticks for Life and Business, and it was one of those things he talked about. It's like his description was like a phrase that pays, right? Something simple, like alliteration, blah, blah, blah. But I would look at all these different situations in my life of when I would quote unquote win and when I would quote unquote lose. And when I was losing, it was usually because it was me trying to do everything. It was me isolating myself from people. It was me thinking small, playing small, and not expressing myself, right? Not speaking up. The times that I won, wow, I had a purpose. I had a mission. I had something bigger than myself. And when I had that, even though I might have been intimidated, I might have been scared or worried or reluctant, I knew that other people are counting on me to do this. So there ain't no time for me to be like, all right, I'll be, duck into my cave. Like, okay, I got to step up. I got to man up, put the boots on, and start to soar. And there's different stories that I shared in a book called The Journey of Riches, The Power of Self-Discovery. It's an anthology book, myself and 10 other authors. My chapter is essentially my life story up to this point and how I became a speaker and a coach. And one of those experiences was creating a one-day event back in 2022. Now, I was worried about that. I was scared, and the reason behind that was because we were trying to raise money to pay off a coach. Right? We enrolled myself and 3 other coaches. We signed up for a 6-month program that was going to start in January of 2022, go through June. And to pay this coach at the time, that was the biggest fee that I had paid a coach. So I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm worried, and money's not coming in. We come up with an idea to make an event. We'll use the proceeds from that to pay off this coach. Starts off great. Tickets are moving, but it's not moving as fast as we need to, especially for some different things we agreed to. And things changed when he learned about that. He said, all right, what I want you to do is raise the same money, sell the tickets, do all that stuff. But instead of paying me, you're going to donate that to charity. You're going to donate it to nonprofit organizations. And people might be like, oh, that's not a big deal. But that took a lot of pressure off of me because now the story I was sharing was, hey, I need you to help me. I need you to share this. I need you to do this rather than, please help me get out of this jam. Please send more porridge. Like, it's shifted from me being selfish and scarcity to like, we got to help these other organizations. Like, I'm going to rally you with you. So that bigger bubble concept is about expansion. And it's about my vision as a leader. How big can it be? And who can I enroll into this? Who can support me with this? What are the resources? What are the sponsors? And all these things happen, and we were able to pull this event off, and it spawned. Other people were inspired by it. They essentially kind of, I don't want to say copy, but like they ran with it and created their own events and donated to charity. So we kind of set that precedent, and that wouldn't have happened without back to one person having a vision and say, you want to do this, but let's try this. And we bought into it. When you think about any team, that's how greatness is achieved, right? I like this example. I always ask people, how many championships did Michael Jordan win by himself?
None.
Right? And people, you watch The Last Dance, they're like, man, this guy's an a-hole, man, he's a jerk, he's a tyrant. But he didn't do anything that he didn't ask anybody to do something that he wouldn't do himself.
Nah.
Anytime he pushed somebody, he challenged them, is because he believed in them to get better. If they got better, it made his life easier and let him be who he is as the greatest of all time. So with that, and it doesn't have to be athletics, right? It can be academics, it can be anything in business, but as a visionary, what's that thing? What's that thing that people can see themselves inside of? And that's where I think the bigger bubble concept just came from. Like, I just want to keep growing, keep expanding so that others can bring their best to the table. It's not about using people, manipulating. It's about, I have an idea, and I think that you might be somebody who can contribute to that, and I want to bring your best gifts and talents and abilities to that. And when I see that, when I acknowledge that, when I show that, and damn, that feels good. I want to be more. This guy Taryell, he's got something going on. Hey, you got to come over here. Like, people rally to that versus, man, this guy's a jerk. Like, we got to get away. We got to dip out of here. So it's really just that shift of perspective. Like, what are you building? What are you creating?
Man, and you can feel the energy, and it's that old saying, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. So you get all those people anyway. The next thing you know, you're mastering greatness, right? Yeah. And manufacturing it, and so you don't have to wait for the wave because you make the wave, and you are the wave. And so I love that.
And with that, you don't even have to make a crazy wave. You just make a small ripple. That one little ripple, it builds, it grows.
Yeah, it does. It does. Now, another one that you kind of alluded to when you said win and lose earlier, when we was going down the pipeline, and I was like, it's like, there's another one that he got, like, because you got that and you got the WIN framework. Yeah. Tell me about the WIN framework.
Yeah. So that really came clear to me after that event I was just mentioning back in 2022. And I remember as the event ended, it was like 4 or 5 hours. It was a quick, like, kind of half day thing. And then people are getting ready for the after party. And people are dispersed. I'm standing on the stage. I'm sweating. I look like Patrick Ewing, fourth quarter. I got the suit on. Thank God I was wearing black, because if I had anything else, you would have just seen like a ring. It would have looked crazy. But I'm standing on that stage and I'm thinking to myself, wow, we pulled this off. like from the time that we had the idea to the actual execution, that was only 73 days. 4 people, relative novices, and I'm thinking to myself, how the hell did we do this? What
Mhm.
what what happened here? And I'm examining my life and I'm thinking about this, and I just saw like these 3 key things. So the WIN framework, W being what I call worth, right? My value, my identity. I had to see myself as somebody who could do this. I had to
Mhm.
see it in order to be it. If I had no vision of it, then that's not going to happen. So I had to look at who's that person that Alex could be that could do that.
Yeah.
Alex at 15, isolated, knucklehead, crazy, struggling, not confident. That mentality would not be able to build that. But I've raised my own identity about myself, and okay, that can happen. And then the I piece is intention. I told you about what happened when that coach challenged us to
Mhm.
raise the money for a different purpose. So my commitment level went to a different place. Beyond me, I started thinking, well, this is going to help other people. So when you get committed to something, when it's like I'm either going to die or this is going to happen, like those are the options.
Yeah.
And there's no option of dying. Like this is it.
There's no
I'm
plan
doing
B.
this.
This is it.
This is
We either
it.
win or bust.
That's like there's not like I'm winning. I'm gonna make this
Mhm.
happen. We have a deadline to make this event happen. We're gonna do it, and we did it. And then the last piece of this, the N, is the network. Like I mentioned, of like a Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, they don't win championships by themselves. So who are the people that I need with me? Who's the team? What are the resources? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to get introduced to? In my case,
Yeah.
I needed my wife, right? She was my original network. She was the MVP that I needed. And then
Mhm.
we built 2 MVPs in our children. Then we've
Mhm.
built all these other things. So anybody who says like I'm a self-made person, like let me ask you this: did you make your own clothes?
Ah.
Did you did you make a peanut butter jelly? Can you make a peanut butter jelly by yourself? A peanut butter jelly sandwich? Did you
Right.
did you get the yeast? Did you forge the knife that the butter knife to spread it? Did you package it right? All these things you don't think about. Like, yeah, how many people does it take to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich? A lot.
Yeah. Right.
You didn't grind the peanuts. You didn't get the oil. You didn't do all that. You just went to the store, bought that, did your thing. That was easy.
Yeah.
But if you had to go start to finish, A to Z, that's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
How do I
It
make those
is.
steps easier? Hey, you actually know how to do this, and you know how to do that, right? It's all about that part of enrollment. So I see that WIN framework as applicable to any place
Yeah.
in life. We need to do
Yeah. I
that.
can see it. And yeah. And it's an easy framework to remember. Just that worth, intentions, and network. I like that. Because I think that's a good winning formula. No, no pun intended,
Yeah.
or maybe pun intended.
No, but
Now,
at the end of
like,
the day, who doesn't want to win? Who doesn't want to achieve something? Nobody, like you're doing this podcast. You don't do this podcast so nobody can watch or listen to it.
no, no, definitely not. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, we even got a song around when all I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Nobody, right? But when right now we're in the season of the NBA finals going on, so whoever wins,
Yeah,
they're gonna show them with the champagne, the celebration. Nobody cares about the loser locker room.
yeah,
Nobody films that. Nobody's like, all right, let's see you guys hold your heads down and depressed
yeah,
and crying and throwing chairs or whatever. We want to see the winners. We want to be around the people that are achieving, and that's not a knock on somebody who doesn't. But I'm saying is that we all have that capacity. We all have the ability to do that. And when we all do it together, when we all work together collaboratively, it gets easier. So,
yeah.
we can,
Now, tell me, how do you use do these concepts? Do you use them together, or are they like two individual concepts? Like, just give me the like how you use them.
I think for this, you know, I, I think it's just I embody. I think that's where the place I have to come from. That place of I want to make sure that other people are winning. So anybody who follows me on socials, if you follow me on LinkedIn or Facebook, if I'm at an event or whatever, you're gonna see me with long acknowledgement posts, and it's not because
Mm.
I want to make sure other people are recognized, because I know what it's like not to be seen, not
Yeah.
or to feel like you're not seen, to feel like you're just, excuse me, like you're invisible, and
Yeah.
that's painful. I've
It is.
experienced enough of that, and I'm always conscious of, hey, I want to make sure that if it's the AV team, I want to make sure I get them something. If it's someone at the hotel in the front desk, I'm like, man, you're doing an amazing job, right? Just lift up. It's a simple word, right?
Yeah.
Words matter. Words create. I want to create positivity, joy. I want to empower people wherever I go. So the win is really just it's a part of me at this point, and I'm
Yeah.
always got my eyes to the scanner. And this is the thing about commitment and how perspective works.
Hmm.
Before coaching, right? BC, my wins of the world was people are out to get me. I don't trust people. I don't like people. For some reason, they people still kind of gravitate to me, but like I'm repelling that because I have this vision about myself that is low level and
Yeah.
whatever. If now I'm shifting that to, and I have shifted that to, wow, I want to see the good in somebody else. I want to see the gold. Like for you, man, you're somebody who's incredibly talented, funny, uh, very sharp, witty, and also someone who's putting good into the world, right? By having these kind of conversations and whatever else you do outside of here. So that's just a natural thing.
Yeah.
We know each other, but we don't really know each other. But like, just
That.
I can
But
do that.
we could
I
tell
can
like
see that.
instantly we were vibing off the same energy, and that energy, attracts like-minded energy.
Yeah,
And and I love both of the concepts, and I think together with both of the concepts that they really unlock confidence that's grounded and it's not like performative, and you embody it, right? And once you
yeah,
embody it, like it just becomes like second nature. It's like breathing, right? And
yeah.
you don't have to even second think about it because it starts to become natural and a part of
That's it.
your everyday repetition and habits. And those habits compound when done daily, to small wins to bigger wins. And I think that's the people thing that people confuse most. They think, sometimes when they look at our success, they think we won overnight. And I'm like, no, this is continuous.
Yeah.
Like consistency, the work, the repetitions have been put in, and
Mhm.
and now that repetition is all I know. So of course I'm gonna keep winning because I keep putting in the reps, right?
Yeah. Right. When you think about somebody like Tom Brady, right? He didn't just show up on Sunday like, all right, I'm just going to throw Monday through Saturday. What? How much is he watching film? What does he think about? He's rehearsing the game over and over, and by the time he gets it's game day, 2 minutes left. If every time I would watch it and you see you hear the commentator like, all right, Patriots got the ball, 30-yard line, right? Mahomes or something like 30-yard line, 2 minutes left. Like you already know, like, oh man, here we go. He's gonna do it again. Right? It's just like it's automatic because he's rehearsed it in his mind. Same thing with
Yeah,
anything with success. When I have speaking engagements, podcasts, I'm always tapped in like, all right, this is going to be the best conversation I've ever had. This is going to be
yeah.
amazing. And I'm going to come from that place. Imagine if I came to the show like, man, Taryell, let's just talk. Man, right? It's like, what? You know what? I got something came up. We got to
Right.
end the show early, right? Is
They were in the show early. Actually, this episode might not air.
oh man, I forgot to hit record. Whoops. Like,
Oh man, we have to reschedule another day. I'll get back to you though. I'll
yeah,
get back to you.
here, let me see my Hotmail address.
Oh, it's not working though. Wow, I could have sworn. Da, 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 my bad.
User not found or bounce back, like address not deliverable. I just got curved on a podcast.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. All right, so I want to talk about lessons and advice because I know that a lot of listeners they're going to be inspired by this story and
Yeah.
they're probably going to go looking you up after this. What advice do you have for our listeners, especially, a lot of our listeners are Black and Pan African, in the
Mm,
Pan African community, especially if they feel like they're consistently, I don't know, navigating spaces where they're unseen or undervalued. What advice would you give folks
mm.
like that?
Yeah, for my people, for my folks, I'll just let you know these two things. I say it from the stage quite often, that your story matters and your voice matters. And you
Mm,
can hear that however you want. You know, I don't have the the dramatic background of like
mm,
mama came out of gangs in prison. Like, my story is middle class kid, felt invisible, felt disempowered, put on a mask of drugs, of humor, of whatever to push people away. And I found my way back to who I really am. I found my way
mm.
back home. And that story is my story. Whatever
Yeah.
yours is important. There's a value in it. So when you get to a place of, I don't know if I should speak up here. Like, that's the time to really amplify that. And it doesn't mean you have to be a revolutionary. You don't have to be power to the people, stand on a car and jump on the boardroom like, you need to hear me. Like, no, that
Yeah.
can be a quiet confidence in yourself. You carry yourself as a king and a queen because that's what we're made to be.
I love that. Love that. Um, so what's next for you, Alex? What's next out there?
Yeah. The world, Chico. Never even.
We're gonna take over the world, Chico. Taking over the world. Or if you're a big in the brain, like we're gonna take over the world,
Same
Binky.
thing I do every night. I'm gonna take over the world, but yeah, I
Hey,
think just more being on more stages. That's
hey,
that's my playground. That's where I felt home. And I'll
hey.
share this back at that event. Right, I'm keep going back to this event in January 2022. I was nervous coming up there. Right, I had the 8 Mile moment, like mom spaghetti, knees are heavy. Right? But I took that first step on the stage, and the first, second,
Hey,
the third step, had the microphone in my hand, the lights were on, and I I picture it now like Thanos when he had the Infinity
hey.
Suit, like yeah, like that's what happened for me, and I
Hey,
knew that this is what I'm meant to be doing.
hey.
This is what was meant for me, and I share
That's
that
what's up.
because I was introduced to speaking 6 years prior to that. But
Really?
I muffed, 2016, I was early in the story where I found that job and I'm going to these conferences and I had that seed like, man, I would love to do that. I want to be on a stage, but I didn't do anything with it. It
Yeah,
just
you didn't seize
stayed
the
dormant.
moment.
Yeah. And I was essentially thrust into this because we had to come up with some money. So sometimes those circumstances push you. Sometimes God gives you like those little nudges. Sometimes he gives you like the full boot off the cliff. Figure it
Hey,
out. You have a piece, you have a strand, get MacGyver and get that parachute going real quick.
hey.
But where you can see me is on more stages, more podcasts, building communities, elevating our people, elevating people in general. Just, I think, as we raise consciousness
Hey.
for excellence, when we have that lens of excellence, that's where things change. That's where we can let the petty stuff go. Like
Hey.
this is not contributing to my big vision, my bigger bubble. Like it's not to exclude people. I'm meant to build to include.
hmm And to do that, you have to sometimes lose yourself in the moment, but you gotta never let it go. You only get one shot.
And you have one shot, right? One opportunity.
um, so tell the folks a little bit about the New York situation again. And then also I'm curious, are you still doing are you doing any new cohorts for like the speak up and stand out leadership program or what's going on with that?
Yeah. So first, we'll start with the conference. So that's what this organization called NAMIC, NAMIC.
Hey,
Their conference is called Accelerating Inclusive Leadership. So that is at the New York Marriott Marquis, October 21st and 22nd. I'm going to be there kicking off day one at 10 a.m., I believe, and we're going to speak up, stand out. It's going to be a fun, interactive, immersive experience. And I'm so excited to partner with them. And there's gonna be a couple of other folks that Brandy once again introduced me to, and we're gonna get a chance to meet in person and chop it up and just have a wonderful time. So if you're in town in NYC, I would advise you to come through. You're gonna learn a lot about yourself. You're gonna learn a lot about just how to take. Here's the thing. I don't want to leave it as like, wow, I feel good, rah rah. Like, no, we got to create this the foundation, and now we build from that, and that's where different workshops that I host, so like the Amplify Your Voice workshop. That's a 5-part series, and that's really offered for corporate clients who want their teams, their leaders to step up, right? To get elevated and to work on how do we retain good people? How do we create a culture that's collaborative and those things? So that's part of the workshop series, the Amplify Your Voice, Speak Up Standouts, the signature keynote. So that's the way to get in the door. If you want to learn about me, come out to Name It, come out to NYC, October 21st, 22nd, tap in.
Yeah. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. I don't do the Joe Rogan type of podcast, so I mean, me and you, we could probably riff and talk all day long, but I'll try to be mindful.
That's all good.
You know, this conversation has been fire. You've given us mindset gems, you've given us leadership wisdom, and most importantly, you know, permission to kind of show up fully. With that being said, you know, a lot of people probably want to follow you, get connected. Where can folks stay connected and stay plugged into your work?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So there's 2 simple ways. You go to speakeralexdumas.com. That's my website. If you're looking to book a speaker, MC for your event or your association conference, that's where you can learn about me and my work and my programs. And if you want to just connect with me directly, LinkedIn is where I'm most active. So Alex Dumas, look at the face, hear the voice. If you add me, if you connect me, you're likely going to see a video message or an audio message. Not AI, it's not a bot. It's a really
they doing video messages on LinkedIn now.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't know this.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So
what?
Yeah,
okay, you have to teach me that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
see, so this the MySpace kid is teaching me how to get update on LinkedIn.
The MySpace was it's just another way to stand out because here we go, right? As a kid, I felt so disconnected from people.
Yeah.
But yet that allowed me now, right? I didn't want that as a kid. I didn't want to feel like that, but it's actually reinforced my superpower of connecting with people and doing something that's just unusual. It's doing something like, what? Man, this guy left me a voice message, like a video message, like that's his face, and I'm saying your name. I'm really taking my time and being intentional. It's not, hey, Taryell, we're friends now. So, hey, listen, I have this thing. Do you want to like buy? Do you want to like invest? Like, can I send you a link? Like, ew, sir, no thanks. I've done that too, and this is just from experience. I've been that person. I've been the creep. I've been the icky. I've been the yucky guy, and I think about what is the experience that I want. How would I want to be treated? How would I want to be acknowledged? And I do that for other people.
Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. From what up on MySpace to I'm gonna send you a video DM.
Yeah, I think I break all the rules, man. I just slide, I just go right. I'm a slider.
He a slider.
He's a rider. He's a slider. Mom does a slider. Sorry.
Oh man. So listen, y'all. If y'all want to connect with Alex, make sure y'all hit it up. Speaker alexdumas.com. Check him on LinkedIn, and also I'll get the link to put the link for booking workshops and more information on that in the bio. Thank you again, sir. And thank you just for everything you gave to the folks on here today. Reminder to the folks: listen, your voice matters, your presence matters, and you don't need to wait for confidence. You can build it brick by brick. If this episode moved you, do us a favor, subscribe, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and leave us a review. And next time, keep rising and keep building. Peace.
Peace. Stay blessed.